good morning. It's deadline day in the NFL, and we'll see what happens. The Eagles and the Ravens have both made trades. So the Ravens make a trade, which I guess is not a surprise to anybody. Like, Red, we're going to see them make a trade. They're trading for Titans edge rusher Draymond Jones. Conditional fifth that could become a fourth for Draymond Jones. The Bills, meanwhile, opening up cap space. Everybody saw that yesterday. And it's probably an indication they are going to do something, right? They've got about $3 million in space. And while $3 million doesn't feel like a lot of space, if you use the SpotTrack current NFL trade candidate trade cap hit board, there's a lot of good players you can get for $3 million. And there's actually maybe two players you can get for less than $3 million. So we'll watch it. We'll see what happens. The conversation around the deadline today. And, of course, we'll keep you updated on all the rumors. I'm deep into it, Joe. I'm looking up Mazi Smith. Mazi Smith, who's the defensive tackle out of Michigan, went to the Cowboys. He's a healthy scratch last night. The Bills had him in for a top 30 visit a couple years ago. He was a guy we thought they might take. That's the year that they take. Is that Kincaid?
Yes.
Okay.
He goes right after Kincaid, I think.
Yes. Yeah. To Dallas, right.
Yeah.
So they move up in front of Dallas and get Dalton Kincaid, and Mazi Smith goes later. At that time, defensive tackle, shocker, every single year we think defensive tackle is on the board. It always is on the board.
I think the story was Dallas wanted Kincaid, too, wasn't it?
That's a widely held, I don't know if that was like on the record the Cowboys had said that, but there's a lot of belief the Cowboys did want Kincaid.
Right. And then they pivoted to a defensive tackle.
Yes.
When Laporta was also on the board. They could have also done that.
Right. And they have Jake Ferguson, who's pretty good.
Yep. I saw a lot of defensive. Shelby Harris is a name I saw people talking about yesterday. Calais Campbell, but I don't know if Arizona is Calais Campbell just coming up because he's the new. Who's the NHL? He's the new Lee Stepniak of the NFL.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And where he's just every deadline he's a name to talk about.
Who's the other guy? I'm thinking of who's the guy that won 1 million faceoffs for like the Coyotes, and I think the Leafs traded for him. Ooh. Oh,
he was a deadline guy?
This one's going to bother me, yes.
Is it Radim Verbata?
No.
Felt like he was a deadline guy.
I feel like there's a Y in his name somewhere at the start or the end.
Y.
Or someone's going to get it. He's
Yannick Perreault?
That might be it. I don't think that's it. It's somebody that used to, this guy's going to win a ton of face-offs. Face-offs. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Face-offs and penalty kill. The super important stuff for deadline acquisitions.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll see. So, I guess I should. What should we be asking? Like, what do you want today? Defensive line, wide receiver, something else?
I want to know almost more like, what do people feel like? No, they're good. Because all season there have been a lot of positions that have come up. I thought for a long time that corner was going to be the most likely idea for them at the deadline. And is that off the table now? Do we feel comfortable? We're good? Max Hairston getting his feet wet. He's looked good. Do we feel like we don't need that anymore? How about safety? Like Jordan Hancock, again, same thing. He's kind of tracking up. He's a fifth-round rookie, though. How much do you want to trust that, no, I'm just good there. I've got this guy who's, again, trending forward. I don't know that Poyer really plays into anyone feeling more comfortable about not doing anything there. But can I be done at safety and feel okay? Like, how many positions are there like that? Linebacker, everybody is basically healthy other than Shaq Thompson.
They might need some help at linebacker, even though they have some health. Sure, Shaq Thompson's been their best.
I really feel like they have a little bit of hope at pretty much every position where there's either a guy in now, like a Hancock or a Hairston, that's making you think, all right, I might not need that. Or like defensive line, you could still feel like there's help on the way. Jones, Sanders, if you want it.
Yep.
Whereas receiver is the one position where I don't really feel is like that unless you're really trusting that Gabe Davis is that.
Right.
Where's the little bit of hope? Where's the help on the way? I don't really think there is help on the way. It's just Coleman playing a bunch of snaps still and nothing really happening, and then maybe Gabe Davis shows up eventually and does it. But he couldn't make it through 1 week of practice.
Right. Help on the way at receiver is always, hey, Elijah Moore caught a pass. Could they get more out of that? Hey, Curtis Samuel caught a pass. Maybe there's something there. So I don't know. The thing,
But when you have a young guy that's kind of an unknown commodity that you invested in on, like a Hancock or a Hairston, it's more defendable. They're like, oh, no, this guy could actually be something for
sure. There's
rather than guy who's on his third team.
There's a lot of talking ourselves into, Elijah Moore could do more for you.
Right.
If he could, then maybe they would have that as part of their offense. And maybe he can. Who knows? The question I would ask about the deadline, because the Michael Hoyt injury has shifted people like immediately to try and find Hoyt's replacement because they saw what he did in the defense and how that was really valuable. So, okay, you could go for whatever Hoyt is. Is that a defensive tackle / defensive end / linebacker?
That's why,
that's the thing. Yeah. Hoyt is a specialist in that he can do a lot of things for you.
That's why I saw people talking about Calais Campbell because he can do defensive end and defensive tackle.
Okay, so
he definitely can't do the linebacker parts.
Right. So do I get a specialist because I want to replace my specialist, my chess piece? That would make sense. Should Brandon Beane make 2 moves? We'll go ahead and find a way to make 2 moves for this. You trade somebody and then restructure them right away. Well, I don't know. The cap is tough to figure out only because we don't know which players we're talking about. But, if you wanted to add to this roster a receiver in the form of like Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave and a defensive tackle, you could probably do it, depending on who those players are. Do you want Matthew Judon? How do you like Matthew Judon?
Yep.
There have been times that Matthew Judon's a good player, and I don't know if that's exactly the right fit. Sometimes he's a linebacker, sometimes he's an edge. So right now he's in Miami, and his cap hit is $651. Not necessarily putting Judon on the team, but if you wanted Christian Kirk and Cameron Jordan, you could do both of those things. Cameron Jordan with the Saints, his cap hit is low. The question I would ask as, again, the driver, the engineer of the wide receiver train over years and years and years, is simply this. Where does it feel most tenuous? Because I could do a couple things here. I could acquire depth, right? Defensive tackle that's going to play, but when Ed Oliver and or Daquan Jones come back, and Deion Walker and TJ Sanders, by the way, like I've got pieces there, then this player maybe gets passed over by them, or if it's the top of the food chain kind of defensive tackle, then all right, I'm just better at that position. I don't think they need help at edge. I do not think they need help at edge. If they wanted to go get some, okay, that's fine. At receiver, is this team Kincaid picks up an oblique injury away from the passing offense doesn't work? That'd be a question I have. Or is it just because Palmer and Kincaid were out in Atlanta? Kincaid has come back, and against Carolina, they didn't really have a great passing day, but against the Chiefs, they did. Allen looked great. What I want to do if I'm Brandon Beane today is try to find a way to bolster my offense, my defense. What can I do to make it more likely that it all stays on track / gets better, right? That's the whole idea. So who are those players? What could that be? There's lots of trade rumors out there. Not a lot of action yet today. And overnight, Jerry Smith hinted that he has a deal in place, and Mozzie Smith was indeed.
Jerry Jones. Yeah.
Sorry, what I say?
Jerry Jones. Jerry Smith.
Jerry Smith, yeah, Mozzie Smith. Jerry Jones said he has a deal in place.
Yep.
But that deal has not been announced, and nobody knows what it is. So Jerry Jones has a deal in place. Mozzie Smith was a healthy scratch. Could he be trading Mozzie Smith to Cincinnati with something to get Trey Hendrickson on an expiring contract? He could.
Yep.
He could. So what do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to see today? How much action do you want to see? The Eagles made their play for a premier defensive end. I mean, pretty good. And Jalen Phillips.
He is probably the next best guy that could get dealt, and he did get dealt behind Hendrickson.
Right. He might be the best guy that gets dealt. Like, we'll see if Hendrickson ultimately goes.
Right.
The reports are the Bengals want a first-round pick. Hendrickson's on an expiring contract, so that's a big ask.
Yeah. Bradley Chubb is another name here, by the way. He's at 1.7 for the team that's picking him up. He had 11 sacks last year. He's got 4 already this year.
Okay.
He's probably not the same player that he was a couple years ago, but he's pretty good, right? So,
Kayvon